Hello, and welcome back to Frugal Gamer. Today we're going to be talking about the 5 habits that will not only help you physically, but mentally, and it will help your brain development. Let's get started. Number 1 is going to be gardening. Now, I've touched up on gardening before. What gardening allows you to do is it allows you to go ahead and sit down. You fill up a thing of water, right? Now, when I say gardening, it doesn't really matter what kind of gardening. I just want to specify that. But anyways, gardening will help you physically because what will happen is you're going to be having to carry a water jug back and forth. Not only that, but you have to distribute weight properly. And on top of that, what you have to do is you likely have to walk around a little bit just to actually get all the plants, depending on how much you garden. It also helps you physically because depending on what you are growing, if you are growing spices like those, or if you are growing fruits or even vegetables or even mushrooms, you will have higher quality food in your cupboard most likely because when you buy food from the market, you are getting processed foods. The foods that you grow at home will not be processed and therefore it will have less harmful chemicals to your body. Now, how it helps you mentally is that when you are going and watering your plants, you get to have a little bit of a rest. You can go ahead and say, okay, it's time to do this. And it's actually not strenuous. It's somewhat tedious, but once you get used to it, you can make it habitual. Excuse me. And then when you really think about it, you are also connecting with the earth, and therefore you are making it to where you are able to step back. You are able to lower your blood pressure. You are able to lower your irritation levels. You can lower your stress levels, at least for a little bit. And that will provide you with a lot more mental stability than some people have. Hell, at this rate, I would even say most people. But that is besides the point. Number 2 is going to be meditation. How meditation can help you physically is when you step back and you sit down for 5 minutes and do nothing. You just sit there with your mind, your own thoughts. You are actually able to manipulate how your brain works. Not only that, but even if you were a beginner, it will still have a great effect on your physical condition. Why this is the case is because when you sit down for 5 minutes or whatever it may be, those stress levels are going to go down, that blood pressure is going to go down, that irritability is going to go down, that hopelessness is going to go down. Because what you are doing is you are sitting there with your own thoughts and you are learning to manipulate them. On top of that, you actually get to sit down and breathe for a minute without having to deal with other people. If other people interrupt, you ignore them. Do not give in to it. Now, how this can help you mentally is not only are you sitting there, just sitting back, not worrying about stuff. This can help you to understand yourself better, and what this does is it gives you a better understanding of who you are as a person. It will help you to get through your days, and what this does is it helps you mentally because you don't have so much mental strain on your brain, and there is less to worry about when it comes to if you are going to be happy. Because you are learning about yourself and you are learning what will make you happy and what won't. Now, manipulating your brain also means that you can make yourself happy using meditation, but depending on how you want to do that, is depending on how many years of experience you need to be able to do that. Number 3 is going to be exercising. Now, when you are an exercise freak, now I do not mean somebody that is constantly going to the gym, constantly flexing, and bragging about their muscles. No, I mean somebody who takes time out of their day, at least a couple times a week, and will sit there and they will work out a little bit, scheduled time and everything. They are people who are making themselves physically better with just a little bit every day, or every other day, or whatever it may be for them. But because they are doing this, they are working out their muscles, they are giving their muscles a day to relax, and then they are going to work out again. What this means is they are giving their muscles time to actually grow before they go back into working out. This can be a good thing depending on how your body works. Some people's bodies can just instantly have their muscles be grown. Now, that's not the case for everybody, of course. Some people it takes more time than others, and that is okay. Everything takes time. But this also helps you mentally, because when you are in better physical shape, this helps you to be more confident, and therefore your mental stability is going to be better, just because of the fact that you're not worrying about stupid crap like, am I physically fit enough? Do I look right? Blah, blah, blah. Because even if you're not there and you're only starting, you can see the progress that you're making, and therefore you're not going to be worrying about it as much, because you know you're going to get there as long as you keep up with it. And that is your motivation. Number 4, ranching. Now, ranching can help you physically because you have to constantly go back and forth between animals. Not only that, you also have to go back and forth between gardening. This is a step up from the first one, which is gardening. Now, when you are a rancher, you are getting more physically fit, not only because you're having to go back and forth, not only because you're carrying stuff throughout all those trips, but you are also more than likely in a hilly location, or it's not very level terrain, so therefore you're having to use your leg muscles a little bit more than if you were on just straight flat land. Now, what this means is that your legs are getting even more of a workout than they typically would on flat land, which can help you physically. Also, when you are a rancher, you have more not necessarily organic, but you have better, more high quality foods, because you are a rancher. You are likely composting, you are likely doing it organically. Even if you're not, it does not matter, because you are growing it yourself and you are not putting it through the processing cycle. And therefore, you're not having to wait for your food. It's totally natural, especially with dairy. When it's a lot more natural, it can be a hell of a lot better. But that's just my opinion, because I've been on a ranch. But it also helps you mentally, because what this does is throughout the time that you're doing all this, yes, you may be worrying about the animals and all the plants and everything, but what this actually allows you to do is while you're doing these things, you are still calming down, your blood pressure is still lowering because of all the physical stuff. You are alleviating blood pressure and whatnot, you are getting healthy food, and therefore your brain is actually working a hell of a lot better than most people's are. So, this helps you mentally, not only in the fact that you have less stress, but also in the fact that you are actually getting more foods, you are getting more workout, you are doing a hell of a lot better than most people are in that position. And then number 5 is going to be health nuts. Now, how health nuts will help you physically is Health Nuts will make sure that they are looking at the nutrition facts on all of their food, or at least most of their food. And what this does is this can help to make sure that you are getting the sufficient vitamins for the day. On top of that, Health Nuts, depending on how extreme they are, they will also track what they've eaten throughout the day, because of course not everybody can remember everything. But this helps to make sure that you are getting all of the necessary vitamins and minerals that you require every single day that most people will be low on. For example, potassium is one of those things. Typically, women get less than 3% of the daily value for potassium, and men typically only get about 10% of the daily value for potassium. Now, there are many more minerals and vitamins that many people are low on. This is why being a health nut can actually be a good idea, because how this helps physically is if you are not getting the sufficient vitamins or minerals, your muscles will not grow as well. On top of that, your brain will not work as well. That's one of the things that is kind of goes hand in hand with excuse me. That's one of the potassium is one of those things where it kind of goes hand in hand with your mental state, because if you do not have enough potassium in your system, you will feel more confused, you will feel like you are more sluggish, you just won't feel yourself. You won't feel like a normal human being. And tracking to see if you have gotten all of the necessary vitamins is one of those ways to do that. Now, how this helps mentally is if you focus on the vitamins that you need to get every day and focus on exercising a little bit, even just a little bit, as a health nut, will make the biggest difference. Because when you are doing all of these things, mentally, you are preparing yourself for what is going to come in future days. You are getting more vitamins into your brain, and therefore your brain's work ethic is going to be even better. It's going to work more efficiently. It is going to work even harder. All these things are just good. So if you are not getting the necessary vitamins, not only is your body not reacting the way that it should be, more than likely, but your brain is also more than likely not working the way that it should be, and this is where being a health nut can actually save you. Now, these were the 5 ways that you can help yourself with different lifestyles, both physically and mentally. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you joining me today at Frugal Gamer. Go ahead and comment down below one of the ways that you actually have tried out before. Let me know how it worked out for you. And if you think that I am wrong about any of these, go ahead and leave it in the comments below and we will debate about it later. Go ahead and leave a like on this video and go ahead and subscribe. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.